Welcome to my channel Dazzling Stepping Stone. Today we are going to discuss about respiration rate measurement. In that we will discuss about the function of respiration system, what are the types of respiration rate measurement. Finally, we will discuss about the coding task for understanding the thresholding concept. Let us discuss about the respiration rate for different person. Also, we will discuss about the function of respiration system. Normally, the respiration system, which is inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide. So the function of respiration system is to supply oxygen and remove the carbon dioxide from the tissues. Due to the muscular activity, the lung may be increasing or decreasing its size. Normal respiration rate for the adult person is changing from 12 to 20 breaths per minute. If the person is 18 years old, then the respiration rate is varying from 12 to 16 breaths per minute. If it is a small baby, then the respiration rate is changing from 30 to 60 breaths per minute. So depending on the age, the respiration rate will be varying. Now let us move to the types of measurements. These are the different types of respiration rate measurement. First one is displacement method. Second method is thermistor method. Third method is impedance pneumography, and the fourth one is CO2 method, and the last one is apnoea detectors. First, let us discuss displacement method. See, in this displacement method, we are using different components. First component is transducer. So this transducer is holder around the chest. And the second component we are using is strain gauge. So due to the movement of lung, the resistance in the strain gauge is changing. So this resistance have to be measured using the circuit called as Wheatstone bridge circuit. So this resistance can be measured using this Wheatstone bridge circuit, and according to that transducer will convert the measured quantity into electrical signal. So this output is varying based on the chest expansion, so that we can measure the respiration rate. So this is the first method. The second method is thermistor method. See, the title says that here we are using thermistor. Here the temperature is measured. There will be a difference between the inhaled and exhaled air. So this thermistor, what it will do, based on the temperature, the resistance of the thermistor will be changing, right? So here we are using thermistor. So this thermistor is placed in front of the nostril of the patient by using proper strand. See, thermistor is placed in front of nostril, and here we are using suitable stand, and here we are using the bridge circuit. See, based on the temperature, the resistance will be changing, and we are measuring the signal. If we need, we can amplify the signal so that we can measure the respiration rate. Now, the third method is impedance pneumography. So, pneumograph means it's a device. It's also called as pneumatograph. Also, it is called as spirograph. So, it's a device for recording velocity or force of the chest movements during respiration. This pneumography concept we are using, and here this respiration measurement is based on the changes in the impedance. See this figure. Here we are using oscillator. So this oscillator frequency is ranging from 50 to 500 kilohertz, and this oscillator is generating the signal. So this signal will be passing through the chest of the patient with the help of electrodes. Okay. Now across this, the voltage drop will be generated. See, this R means resistance without respiration, and del R means resistance changing with respiration. Okay, so due to the changes in the resistance, there will be a voltage drop across this, and the signal will be amplified by using the amplifier, and the output of the amplifier is given to the demodulator circuit, and here we are filtering the signal. If there is any disturbance, it will be removed by the filter. Finally, we are recording the signal. Okay, so that we can measure the respiration rate. So the voltage drop already we have told that. See, the voltage drop is mentioned as V. That is V equal to I into R. That is a normal formula. But we are telling that impedance will be changing. So the changes is mentioned as R plus or minus del R. So the important formula is V equal to I into R plus or minus del R. So it is an indirect method we can say, because based on the impedance change we are measuring the respiration rate. So it is called as indirect method. Now the impedance across the chest of the patient is changing based on the breathing. Also I have told this point, 50 Hz signal is produced by the oscillator circuit and it is given to the patient chest with the help of electrodes. Now the signal will be amplified and the voltage drop formula already we know that. Here V is the output voltage and I is the current through the chest. R means chest impedance without respiration and del R means changes of chest impedance due to respiration. Now the next method is carbon dioxide method. See, this title say that here we are using the exhaled air, that is carbon dioxide. Here the respiration rate is measured using the carbon dioxide in the expired air. Here we are using infrared rays. Also we are using the property called as absorption property. This carbon dioxide which is absorbing the infrared rays, okay, based on the absorption some heat energy will be lost. Now the detector we are using, so the detector which changes the loss in the heat effect into electrical signal and we are measuring the respiration rate. Let us discuss using this diagram. Just see the diagram. Here we are having two infrared sources. This is the first infrared source. This is the second infrared source. Okay. Now we are having chopper motor. So this motor is used to open the disc or to close the disc. So first infrared source which is used to pass the infrared rays to the test cuvette. See here we are having two cuvette. Cuvette means container. So this container which is allowing test gas. Now the reference cuvette which is used to pass the infrared rays coming from the second infrared source which is filled with N2 gas or nitrogen gas. This test container which is filled with expired carbon dioxide. So it is having some temperature. When the first infrared source is passing the rays, this infrared rays are absorbed by the carbon dioxide gas. Now this infrared rays are observed, right? So that the energy of the rays will be weakened. Now this second infrared source is passing the infrared rays which is passing to the reference cuvette. Now next section we are having is detector. So this is called as detector. So here we are having condenser which is used for converting the vapor into liquid. Here we are having one diaphragm, metal plate here we are having. It is called as diaphragm which is separating the detector region into two identical regions. Okay. So this diaphragm which is separating the regions into equal space. Now this test container is having very weak infrared ray which is coming to this side. Okay. Now this is the highest energetic infrared rays. Correct. So this signal is coming to right side of this detector. Right. So this left side it is very weak signal and here somewhat strengthened signal. So that due to that weakened signal now the diaphragm is slightly moving towards left. Now this metal plate is acting as a capacitor and it is storing the electric charge. Now this electric signal which is amplified by using the amplifier, and for continuous measurement we are using integrator and the value will be recorded using recorder and we can see the value using meter. Okay, I hope that you have understand. Once again I will recollect all the points. Here we are using two infrared sources and first infrared source which is passing the beam to the test cuvette and the second infrared source also falling the rays into the reference cuvette side, and here we are having two detectors which has two identical portions which are separated by metal diaphragm. Now the test container which is passing the beam which is very weak when comparing the reference side. Now the diaphragm is slightly pushed out to the left side and it forms a plate of capacitor. Now the signal across the detector which is amplified and it is recorded. Finally the amplified output is integrated for continuous monitoring of respiration rate. Okay, now let us move to the last topic, apnoea detectors. So you should know what is apnoea. So apnoea means stoppage of breathing. When this condition may happen? If the person is affected during injury or if the person is taking more dosage of drugs, definitely that leads to apnoea. There is a chance for stoppage of breathing. Okay, so apnoea means stoppage of breathing. So this apnoea is occurred at the conditions like head injury and drug overdose, etc. This apnoea can also occur in premature babies during the first week of their life because of their immature nervous system. Okay, so this is the important problem for the premature baby. So we have to monitor properly. Otherwise, the brain function can be severely damaged. Okay, if the stoppage of breathing is continued for more time, the brain function will be definitely damaged. So that the apnoea patients have to be monitored very closely. So that we can use the apnoea detectors. So this detector can give two outputs. One is in the form of audio signal or alarm. Second one is visual signal. If the patient is not taking breathing properly for some time period, automatically it will give alarm. Now see the block diagram. This is the diagram of apnoea detectors. Now we are using sensor. So sensor is sensing the signal from the patient, and this sensed signal is given to amplifier, which is amplifying the signal. Now the signal is split into two ways. Now the high frequency signal is passing to the motion channel and the low frequency signal is passing to the respiration channel. So what is motion, what is respiration, we should know. So motion means the signal which is having frequency which is greater than 1.5 Hz, then it belongs to motion. If the frequency which is less than 1.5 Hz, then it belongs to respiration. Now, the motion channel is having two devices. One is negative detector and another one is positive detector. So, positive detector, what it will do? If the signal frequency which is greater than the threshold, then the signal will be sensed by positive detector. Similarly, if the signal which frequency is less than the threshold, then it will be sensed by the negative detector. Okay, now the output of the motion channel is passed to the comparator. Based on the comparator circuit, the lamp will be glowing. See, there are two lamps. So, first lamp is used for showing motion or disturbance. The second lamp is used for indicating respiration. Okay, if the patient is normal, definitely this lamp will be glowing. Right? If the patient is not taking breath for 10 seconds or 20 seconds, then this alarm will be ringing. So here we are having some sections. So the respiration channel which is having low pass filter which is allowing only low frequency components. Now the Smith trigger circuit which is triggering the alarm circuit when the patient is not taking breath for a particular time period. This alarm circuit is driven by apnoea period selector circuit. So this apnoea period selector circuit which is having oscillator and different types of amplifier. Okay. Now, if the patient is not taking breath for 10 seconds or 20 seconds, immediately the alarm will be ringing and the speaker is connected with us. So, the alarm, based on this alarm sound, the doctor will be alert and they can come and give proper treatment to the patient. Okay. Once again, we will recollect the points. The motion channel, which is having two blocks. Okay. First one is motion, second one is respiration. Motion means disturbance. Now, the frequency below 1.5 Hz is identified as respiration. Frequency above 1.5 Hz is identified as motion. Now, the positive detector means the high frequency signal which is above threshold is sensed by positive detector. Similarly, negative detector which will sense the frequency below the threshold. Comparator circuit which compares the amplitude of both signal, motion and respiration. Based on that, corresponding lamp will glow. And if there is no respiration, Smith trigger will switch on the alarm and it will give sound. So the apnoea period selector circuit which contains the alarm, oscillator and audio amplifier. So this apnoea period selector circuit which drives the alarm circuit and the output of the alarm circuit is connected to the speaker so that the doctor can give treatment to the patient. So when this circuit will work, when the patient is not taking respiration for 10 seconds or 20 seconds, automatically the audio signal will be generated through the speaker and the flashlight will be delivered. That is called as visual signal. Okay, I hope that you have understand the concept of respiration measurements. So these are the different types of respiration rate measurement. I have told a concept of thresholding. So to understand the concept of thresholding, you can do a simple task using different types of data. Either you can use your image, otherwise you can use your own voice signal, otherwise you can take a data. For example, if you are taking your photograph, you can fix a threshold value to separate your eyes from the image. Okay, so that you can understand what is threshold. You can fix a pixel value. For example, the pixel value may be 50 or 100. So the pixel values which are less than 50 have to be separated, and the pixel those are above the 50 should be separated, so that we can understand what is threshold using image. Another one thing, you can record your voice signal and you can separate the high frequency component and low frequency component using threshold. So you can fix a frequency, maybe 50 Hz. Okay, so based on that you can separate low frequency and high frequency component. At that time also you can understand what is threshold. The last concept is a simple concept is data. You can take 10 numbers within the array. For example, 1 to 10 you can take in a variable, and you have to take the threshold value as 5. Okay, if the threshold value is 5, you have to separate the data into two segments. The data which are less than 5 should be stored in one array, and the data which are greater than 5 should be categorized into another area. Okay, so you can understand the concept of threshold using, you can do the coding either in Python or MATLAB for understanding this simple concept. Okay, so keep on thinking, you will get idea, try, you can do again and again, keep doing, definitely your work will be success. Thank you for watching video.